So if you've worked with Nuxt, you've probably already seen this message. useFetch component is already mounted. Please use useFetch instead. And at first I was a bit confused because I wasn't really sure what it meant. So I kind of understood, followed a couple of discussions, and let's actually talk about how, where this issue is coming from and how you can solve this. It's going to be very simple. You'll see that's information that I found, throughout kind of discussions that, were around in the GitHub repo. So here I have a very simple application where I've got some clients here. All the data is in Supabase, by the way, and the repo, by the way, is in my GitHub. So if you want to clone it and try it out for yourself, it's all possible. And so our use case is super simple here. We've got clients here, and I might want to edit the name. So I've got a modal here that lets me do this. So, we can change the name here, and then I submit. But then we can see that there was no update to that name. So that's not really good. So we're going to be actually wanting to make sure that we refresh, because if we actually refresh the page here, we see the change was made. So we want to be able to refresh whenever we change the name. So fair enough, we're going to be able to go into the code. And so just to kind of let you know how this works, I've got essentially a composable here, which is called useGetClients. And inside this composable here, we've got a useFetch to API/clients, which is an API endpoint which just retrieves my clients. It's not super important here to understand what is happening behind the scenes in the server. What is more interesting is kind of how we use this useFetch in this example here. So going back into my index, we can see here that I'm calling an edit client button here, so that we have here. So that's the actual button here that we're clicking, which is just basically opening up an edit client modal. So this is the modal. This is the actual sorry about that. This is the actual modal here that we have opened. So if we take a look at the modal here, what is happening is that we have a submit that actually calls a patch to update the name of the client. Pretty simple stuff. And we probably want to refresh the values. So we're actually going to do refreshing the values, but in the wrong way. We're going to do this, which was the way that I used to actually do this. And I'm going to call useGetClients. So here I'm calling the refresh function from the actual composable and from the useFetch to actually refresh the data. So I'm going to do a refresh, and I'm going to see if that works. All right, so if I change this, I'm going to just remove this. And we can see here that we've got the name changed, but we have useFetch, this warning here, component is already mounted, please use useFetch instead. And really what is happening is that we shouldn't be calling the refresh and the composable here. When you're calling this inside a function, and additionally in a function that is async, you're going to get this issue here. And so essentially what you need to just do is remove it and put it in the component itself. And so that way, when the component is mounted, it actually kind of mounts. I don't know if that's the right term, but it mounts the composable here and says, all right, well, refresh is available, and I'm not mounting it as part of an async function. I'm sure there are many more technical reasons why this is happening, but if we actually save this and we do this again, we don't get any error. Actually, let me just refresh to make sure that this is working. Just going to change this. I don't get any error, and I'm still refreshing. So really what you want to make sure of is that you're calling your composables part of your components and not within the function. Noting, I believe this warning is not appearing in older versions of Nuxt and Vue, so maybe you won't have this error, but this is just like a good practice to do to make sure that you're using this properly. So if you want to check out the repo, it's in the description. If you have any comments, leave the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.